When President Kennedy saw his Saturday papers, he said the photos made him sick.
The embarrassment for us around the world.
That's when Kennedy called Birmingham. Kennedy had sent word down that if children got involved, that his administration couldn't support that kind of stuff.
The president says stop the movement. I don't think so.
Well, the Kennedys knew nothing about the South. Why would they? They rich, Ivy League.
Kennedy thought we were crazy. He was talking with Dr. King and them about getting these kids out the movement, but it was out of Dr. King's hands.
Kids were all over the place.
You going to jail today?
Jimmy is going.
I went yesterday.
Why can't I go?
I'm going to jail. He's going to jail. We're going to have a party in jail.
People are interested in our struggle all over the country. Mr. Dick Gregory will be in Sunday.
Dick Gregory came out to march with the kids, and he was the most famous person we had ever seen.
I got there 20 minutes before I got arrested. They was already moved out. They rushed me out to the front of the line.
All of the policemen started running after them on the motorcycle.
I had to run, catch up with them. And a block later, we was all arrested.
Some children got out of jail, and they were so excited about it, they would turn around and go right back.
My mother said, "Boy, you in jail again?" She said, "Boy, you better stay out of that jail. Those people are gonna hurt you." I said, "No, they're not, because we got God on our side."
And once they were in jail, it was kind of depressing.
It had rats, and it was nasty and filthy.
They fed us bologna sandwiches with nothing on it, just dry bread. One sandwich now.
Bull Connor demanded that every child be interrogated.
They were asking me a lot of questions about, why did you march? Who told you to march? Did they force you to march?
After you sit and ask the same 10 questions of hundreds of kids, you begin to say, what am I doing here? What is the end of this madness?
We was in there about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. And we were singing. Oh my God, we'd be singing.
When they put us in jail, the guys were in one side and the girls were on another side, and you could hear them. And they would sing songs. Then the girls would sing a song to answer them back.
I'm in jail at night, and everybody's singing and laughing and enjoying themselves. And I see this little 4-year-old boy, 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, "Hey, what's your name?" "How old are you?" He said, 4. I said, "What are you here for?" He said, "Tatum." He couldn't even say freedom, man.
The demonstrations continued every day, and every day the movement struggled to head off violence from whites and blacks.
I call upon all the citizens of Birmingham, both Negro and white, to realize that violence only breeds more violence.
See, once you arrest 3,000 people, you have no control, especially when they ain't scared of you.
Clocking in at number 1.
By Saturday, some kids were coming downtown in their bathing suits.
It was fun.
Hey, baby, pass the soap.
It was hot that summer, you understand? And just to get sprinkled around with the hose was beautiful.
And in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splash, reeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, rocking and a rolling. Hey,
children will be out there shaking.
I hid behind a girl.
Some went up to the water, put the water on me. You bad?
And this young guy was standing in there.
They were calling them names, talk about their mama and all kinds of stuff.
It was funny, but it was stupid.
The children were saying, I want to go to jail. I want to go to jail.
She got rollers, hair curlers, everything you can think of in her handbag.
Why does she have those?
For jail. You gotta look good in jail.
I want equal rights. I want equal rights. Just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. I want my freedom just like everybody else.
There were 800 kids in the hog pens at the fairgrounds. A crowd of parents gathered at the fence, tossing food, sweaters, blankets. When it started to rain, the cops walked to their cars and sat inside, dry.
I was wet, and I was cold, and I wanted my mama, and I wanted my daddy, and I was scared. I want my mama, I want to go home.
They treated us like they did the livestock. And you know, it really smelled like that too. and you're wet.
Children were released at random, sometimes in the middle of the night.
I got out on Sunday, and I wasn't ready to go because there were a lot of people still in jail.
My mom, when I got home, the first thing she did, naturally, she smelled me coming. So she said, oh girl, you can't go in that house. I need to wash you down. Let's take the hose in. I said, not any more water.
When she came home, I remember my mama hugging her and said, bless your heart, baby. Bless your heart.
Although many have been arrested,
we have already won a victory here in Birmingham. Because yesterday we filled up the jail. And today we filled up the jail yard. And on tomorrow, I don't know what they're gonna do.
By Tuesday, May 7th, the city of Birmingham faced a state of collapse. 3,000 students were stampeding through downtown in a victory lap. The police had been made helpless.
Kids was everywhere, you know what I mean? All down through town.
We couldn't stop it. We couldn't contain it.
The white people were in panic.
They didn't know what to do. They'd turn you loose.
By the 7th day of demonstrations, it became obvious there was no end of children in sight.
I was sitting there in the jail and I said, no way to hold a lid on this. The fear's gone.
There were 72 hours of intense negotiations. Movement leaders and white officials were up until dawn with an open line to the White House.
I'm very happy to be able to announce that we have come today to the climax of the long struggle for justice, freedom, and human dignity in the city of Birmingham.
After more than 5,000 arrests, the white people of Birmingham had finally agreed to integrate, and the state courts removed Bull Connor after 7 terms in office.
Well, folks, it's official. Mr. Bull Connor is out of a job.
Bull Connor was beat by the young people of the city of Birmingham.
But what really surprised us was when Kennedy came on television and addressed the nation and said, this is the end of segregation.
We are confronted primarily with a moral issue. It is as old as the scriptures and is as clear as the American Constitution. The heart of the question is whether all Americans are to be afforded equal rights and equal opportunities whether we are going to treat our fellow Americans as we want to be treated.
I remember watching the president on TV, and I knew he was talking about me.
If an American, because his skin is dark, cannot enjoy the full and free life which all of us want, then who among us would be content to have the color of his skin changed and stand in his place?
And once he made that statement, it's like tears start flowing. It's like, oh man, this guy gonna preach. And he went on and on and on.
Now the time has come for this nation to fulfill its promise.
The Children's March broke the back of Birmingham. Birmingham led to the March on Washington. Birmingham changed the South in an incredible way.
There would be retaliations, riots, and a fatal bombing in the church where it all began. But in the year of 1963, in the month of May, in the city of Birmingham,
because of what has happened, we can say from the depths of our hearts, as never before, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's really funny to think about it, that the police, the fire department, and the KKK were beaten by us kids. You know why? Because they were not looking for us. They were never looking for the children, the secret weapon.
I felt like I was a giant at 15.
Yes, the unsung heroes, the children.
There ain't no place like Birmingham. There ain't no place like Birmingham.